Okay, so today is Tuesday, August the 5th, and we are filming another episode of Legal Lead Group's podcast with myself and Mr. Hewitt, where we discuss all the things that we do every single day to help our law firm clients get better case leads and ultimately increase the revenue they bring into the practice. Today's video is going to talk about how you can get quality motor vehicle accident cases and injury cases from your Google ad campaign while weeding out medical malpractice. One of the biggest problems personal injury attorneys have is they've tried Google ads in the past, they've tried digital marketing in the past, and 85-90% of the inquiries they receive are med mal related. And there's nothing wrong with medical malpractice cases if your firm is built for it. But I would say 90% of the PI firms that we represent that partner with us are specifically looking for MVAs. Some will do some commercial premises liability cases. They need to make sure there's insurance in place. Dog bites are hit and miss because you're not sure about insurance. And the majority of them do not, they specifically do not want medical malpractice. So I'm going to start off the conversation here real quick, the podcast real quick, by just doing a kind of a brief dive into Google Ads. Some of the stuff I'm going to touch on is probably repetitive from other videos, but I'm going to relate it specifically to ways that you can attempt to weed out a big chunk of the med mal inquiries and solely focus on quality MVAs. So let's just start real quick with one of the first things that you have to do when you build a Google ad campaign. And instead of showing you stuff that's 100% on our website, I'm going to show you information from a lot of different websites. I want you to understand that what I'm about to go over isn't 100% our opinion. It's industry opinion. That way it's, hopefully has a lot more weight and clout with what I'm telling you. So this is a Channable. They're a well-known ad agency. They have a lot of information on their site about PPC in general. And this article is about the difference between ad campaigns and ad groups and PPC advertising. And what I wanted to kind of touch on here is it says ad account hierarchy, the difference between ad campaigns versus ad groups. And it says an ad group contains one or more ads. An ad group contains one or more ads which share a set target of keywords and bids. The biggest difference is that an ad group are one level campaigns in the account hierarchy. Okay, so you see down here, it says ad campaigns equal strategies, goals, and budget. Ad groups control the bids, the targeting, and the placement. When you're setting up your Google ads, okay, you don't have 100% control over how your ad does position or how it does impress. You have 95% control, okay? So when you're selecting keywords, okay, and when you're selecting different strategies, are going to dictate how and when your ad gets in and out of auctions, how you bid, which will then control what you come up for. Adding negative keywords is supposed to help you weed out medical malpractice cases. If you add medical malpractice and all of the synonyms as a negative keyword, it is supposed to help push away any time that one of those keyword searches comes in place from your ad impressing. Doesn't work 100% of the time, okay? So by building different ads within an actual campaign that are focused on, let's just say, car accidents specifically, truck accidents specifically, motorcycle accidents specifically, and you utilize specific headlines, meaning you don't build a general PI campaign that talks about accident injuries or compensation or call us if you've been injured. Those could theoretically still trigger a MedMal search, your ad to show up in a MedMal search, because Google is still trying to show your ad as often as possible, because the more often it shows your ad, the more money they get. And there's a lot more searches for medical malpractice than there are motor vehicle accident searches. Let me explain that again. Your ultimate goal as an attorney is to get a qualified case. You don't care about clicks. You don't care about impressions. You want the baby, not the labor pains. You want John or Jane Smith who just got rear-ended by a UPS truck and they broke some bones and they have their own insurance and their license is in place, so there's nothing that can screw this case up. You want them to call you right away after the accident while they're en route to the hospital about to have a CT scan, so it's a perfect layup. Google doesn't care about that. Google wants to bill you as much money as possible. So your idea of a conversion and Google's idea of a conversion are completely different because your end goal and their end goal are different. You want a perfect motor vehicle accident case with insurance in place. They want to spend your money as fast as they can and spend as much as they can. When you set up the actual ads, if your ad is too generic, your headlines are too generic, your ad copy is too generic, even if you didn't add it as a keyword, it can still impress for medical malpractice. Okay. Later in the video, we're going to talk more about negative keywords. All right. I want to switch the video real quick and the blog to Gary Hewitt. He is our president of media. What he's going to talk about is attribution. One of the things that we do on our Google Ads team is we tell the ads what works and what doesn't work. And we actually have our own team directly at Google in corporate in Mountain View towards San Francisco that we actually have literally a Google Doc sheet that they go over once a week with us to properly track attribution, because feeding that information back to Google also helps weed out things like MedMal, which you don't want. So I'm going to pass the video over to Mr. Hewitt now.
Hey, how's everybody doing? And thank you, Nick. So today we're going to talk a little bit about attribution. And for those of you out there who've been in the game for a long time, I'm sure that your past agencies or internally, you've heard things like, um, stuff like organic and direct and PPC and all of that, all of these different kinds of terms and impressions and all this kind of stuff. And nothing really matters. What matters here um, at Lucrative Legal is that we know what you're investing in promoting yourself divided by the number of actual good cases that are produced by our joint efforts. And that gives us the overall cost to acquire a qualified lead for you. So what we do in the entire process is we look at all of the different things that have been told to you over time, and then we further distill those down into how we actually take certain information. One of the big things that we do here is to help you, especially weed out the cases that you don't want, is we have our own intake department. That intake department's been doing intakes now for well over a year. We've done thousands of cases, produced thousands of cases for our clients. And these are signed cases, signed documents. And so what we do is if you only want motor vehicle cases, and based on the way that we build our campaigns and our ads, when the calls and the forms start coming in through our efforts, we tell the potential client right on the phone that this is not what we do. Here's someone else to call, and we leave that alone. Very quick, very fast, in and out. And we only concentrate on the cases that you want. And we further go down the information hole with them, get them to the doctor, get the case agreement signed, get the police reports, get everything, wrap it up into a package, and hand it to you. One of the other things is we're open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And we speak many different languages, so it doesn't matter what language they call us in, we're most likely able to handle it. So that ultimately gives us a true cost to acquire a real case for you. And it gives us the number that matters most to you, which is getting you cases at the least amount possible. The other things that we do here to help further drive down the cost and to further increase the likelihood of you getting the actual cases that you want is we do something that most others don't, is we look at traditional media as a support mechanism. And what that in traditional media, by what I mean by that is television, outdoor, transit, and in various other ways of getting outside the digital bubble to essentially brand you, because once they've seen you, whether it's on television, on a billboard, in while they're standing in a bus, or the bus drives by, once they start seeing that over and over and over again, you become part of their memory. When they do happen to need your services and they type in car accident attorney near me, you'll be with us, you'll be one of the 3 or 4 people that they see right away. The sponsored ads, the map section, wherever it is on that first page. Well, they're going to remember you first because maybe they saw you on television. Maybe they saw that billboard. Maybe they were standing in the bus that day. And the likelihood of them clicking on your ad or your website increases greatly. As a matter of fact, we see an increase in traffic and cases between 20 and 50% when we overlay television, outdoor, and transit on top of the campaigns that people run with us. So that's an exciting part of something else that we have to offer. So traditional media coupled with the PPC, coupled with the intake, guarantees you the cases that you want, and we wrap them up, deliver them to you, and get them to you almost instantly. I hope you've enjoyed this today. If there's ever any other information that you'd like to hear, pick up the phone and give us a call because we'll show you everything that we do.
Thanks, Gary. And what I want to kind of segue back to, and Mr. Hewitt provided a ton of valuable information there about the power of traditional media amplifying your results. His main thing is even if we get you number 1 or number 2 in the ads, there's 6 other lawyers there. They might have forgot your radio jingle, but it creates an earworm. When they see 6 law firms, they go, oh, that's the guy on the billboard. That's the guy on the TV radio. The most important thing that Mr. Hewitt brought up, though, is attribution. Let me explain. The point of this video is to help you learn how you can get more motor vehicle accident cases from your Google Ads spend instead of getting MedMal. Google Ads is a double-edged sword, or better yet, Google is a weapon. In the wrong hand, it's disastrous. In the right hand, it can be a valuable asset. Google's primary goal is to spend your money as quickly as possible under the belief that you're just going to put more money in. Your primary goal is just to get a case. When you start a campaign, it is a mixed bag. I don't care what agency you use. I don't care what Google ad guru that you use. If they're telling you otherwise, in my opinion, they're not being forthcoming. When you first turn on your campaign, you cannot strangle it. If you over-optimize your campaign and you put thousands of negative keywords to begin the campaign, and you have very strict bidding structure where you're only one exact match or phrase match, your campaign is so tight that you chokehold the campaign and you don't allow it to spend. It makes rational sense, but Google doesn't work rationally. In order for Google to learn what your primary goal is, getting a quality MVA case, you have to let it spend money. And then by spending money, you're able to then whittle away at that campaign and get it to a point where it just delivers the types of cases you want, which are the MVAs. getting data from the firm on attribution. Hey, these 600 calls came in this month. These 500 calls were trash, and here's why. Out of the 100, these 50 were okay, but here's why they didn't convert. These 50 over here were good. Out of 50, we were able to convert 30. The other 20 were still good. We just couldn't sign it. That data shared with us, and then us working hand in hand with Google and our Google Ads team here in house, as well as our team at Google, allows us to then ethically manipulate the ads so we can further continue to weed out the med mal cases. The beauty of using Legal Leads Group is that we handle all of your intakes live. So rather than having to chase you down or bug you or bug your staff, in real time, we know, hey, this particular phone call came from this campaign, this search phrase. It triggered this type of inquiry. We got a good case. Great. Let's mark it. Hey, we got a bad case because it was a med mal inquiry. Let's mark it. So by utilizing us, we have our hand not just on the Google Ad spend, we have our hand on what you care about, which is signed quality motor vehicle accident cases. Okay? Our goal is to increase your ROI. We do not bill you for monthly SEO services and monthly marketing services like some of our competitors. We truly partner with you. If you're interested in learning more about how we can aggressively build and manage a motor vehicle accident case generation campaign for you, give us a call at 805-273-8791, 805-273-8791, or visit us at www.lucrativelegal.com. Read the rest of today's blog article. If you have any questions, give us a call. You can always talk to myself, Mr. Hewitt, or any of the Google Ad reps here. We're happy to help you grow your law firm. Take care and have a good day.